See them like that. The middle buttocks glowed menacingly. Thought in his heart. Look at all the kids. They're all looking at this kid in fear. My son is afraid of a new kid. Does that sound like a myth? You have to teach him again. Think for a moment, he said. Bak My Yuan children have rules of Bak My Yuan. How dare you reduce your sleep time and increase the training time like that? I see his attitude like that, silent as saying nothing. He replied bluntly, then I won't do that again. Now it's Mr. Ulgam's turn to panic. I can't understand why you think there's something wrong with this. Why the hell are we so excited? So we have to check this kid for being disrespectful to his brothers. I see the buttocks in front of me, smiling, looking at me. He was in a hurry to get himself back in the mood. If you do that, what kind of system is it? Disciples of Mount Hua Sect. Taught by me personally. I can't deal with a new kid. It's like slapping yourself in the face. Even when Gum is helpless. Then the middle of the moon suddenly spoke for a month. Please give me a month. Certain, I'll show you the fruits of this. I really want to, by the strong will of my brothers. Even though the training was extremely difficult, but that, I've never heard the brothers say ca. Not even a word. Right? The middle butt screamed with determination. The brothers are down there even if they don't want to, but I only agree with you, right? That's right. Master Kong Dung glanced at, watching my ass fall into deep thought. This kid is obviously teasing me. But I can't open my mouth. Where is a guy like this? Clearly a third-generation student. The entire village was subdued by it. But it doesn't use that hegemony. Do some shit. It is used for later training. Gum asked you a question. It's not easy for you. That's why we have to train early in the morning. What is it? The Chinese replied to him. Although the exercise you let us practice is also possible. But we need to do more. To accelerate the acquisition rate. We shouldn't waste too much time sleeping. Right? Gum said again. I'm just asking the reason for the training. So what's most important? When you treat your brothers like that? The middle buttocks quickly replied that the ceremony. The words of the brothers are heaven. I will definitely listen to you. I hear you say that. He was aesthetically astounded and did not despise his brother. Respect the brothers. Maintaining order in the world. This kid is a genius. When you're done talking, Umgum turns around. Closer to the disciples. Screaming loudly at the games. From early morning, you've trained yourself like this. I feel very touched myself. If you keep practicing like this, we will definitely get something done together. The kids finished listening. My face is full of confusion. What did you say? They trembled, begging. The warden saved us. But he doesn't care. A circuit that turns people away. The panicked kids called out to the warden. Don't go, hoo-hoo. Cotton stands on one side, slowly cracking the angry finger, said. The warden saved lives. Brothers, that's too much. You're not killing everyone. Or we can go to the White House together. Let's talk. I find your attitude so scary. The Kier AI kids are all skinny, hands full of panic. He gritted his teeth and said, "My beloved brothers." Right after that is a series of 7-bar screams coming from the. A few days later, middle buttocks are sitting in the practice room. You used to think the crop was constantly getting smaller and weaker. Now I can feel its place very clearly. Last time in Hoa Sun, I realized a lot of problems. The first thing is the White House. This place is exactly as I planned. It's a place that lacks the ability to engage. Teacher-student relationship. The cat is no different than a whore. The second problem is that the elders in this place, their dignity is somewhat flawed. They have no door to compare. Compared to the paint of 100 years ago. That's why their students are so flawed. Even most of these students enter. It all comes from familiar relationships. Even so, there is no magic. My ass is here. When you finish speaking, stand up immediately. Full of determination to say, "My own hand will create it." The scene moves to the dining hall. Now, the disciples are all eating their meals. Someone with chopsticks is constantly shaking and grabbing food. I saw that the rice plate was all vegetables. He threw down his chopsticks in anger, crying out loud. That's what training is. You also have to feed people. Be a little nicer. Brother Dugald, you didn't say anything. It's been a few days. The table didn't even have any food. I'm going to die like this. Yogan heard him complain. It's a little irritating. Looks like some people are spitting out words. That's great. He looked at the Yogan. He slowly put his chopsticks down on the table, coldly saying, "You're your errand boy. What's it like to hide behind someone else's back? If you want to talk, talk to yourself." Then Young-won stood up in anger. "You told Big Brother Chun. Can I see you for a moment?" "Yes," Yogan Chun replied calmly. A moment later, the two of them went to a forest together. Quite deserted. Chun asked, "You seem pretty comfortable, don't you?" Suddenly Robo said, "Brother, what do you think about the current paint?" Chun Cotton hesitated to say a rather difficult question. Yogan continued, "I have been going home to my parents many times. But think of the brothers. Think about the color of paint." Chun Cotton also nodded in agreement, right? Then they both kept quiet and said nothing. Then the Yogan said, "I thought the painting was a place with no future." Chun Cotton heard that, hurriedly advised, "I think a lot. It's not a problem. You can say that at will." The Yogan continued, "But now my mind has changed. That's after that kid got here. Despite being forced to practice. But when you're trained early in the morning, I realized one thing. I have never been trained at that level. You can reach your limit at any time. But that kid, he trained several times more, without exhausting even a little bit. I really want to try my best once." And then he turned around. looking straight at Chun Cotton. I'm serious about this painting right here. I want to be a master. You can yell at people like that kid. Chun Cotton heard you say that and smiled happily. I think the same as you. The two of them didn't know that. Middle buttocks are sitting on a nearby tree branch. Listen to everything from beginning to end. He smiled with satisfaction. I have successfully eradicated illiteracy for both of you. Chun Cotton is also a bright boy. Must have been enlightened too. But the road ahead is still long. So now we have to. Right now, there's no one screaming down there. Middle buttocks sitting on the aesthetic tree. Chief subject. Suddenly, you feel something is wrong. What's that noise? The scream outside is getting louder. Open the door. Don't even open the door. They violently kicked down the door. Tiger Hero stormed inside Hoa-san. The master doesn't even come out here. Chief student. Come on in. Where's your headmaster? Yuang Gum and Yuang Am are below, trying to stop the crowd. You can't do this. They were angry. Get out of the way. You want to touch your hands and feet? The Chinese cotton above is difficult to understand the aesthetic. They break the door, SAO, the main door of the painting. What the hell is the situation? The Kier people said angrily, you made us wait a long time. Can't wait another moment. How long are you going to go into debt? And when you hear that, your mouth is filled with wonder. Repayment SAO. Oh my God, this is not the case. Hoa-san is their debtor. I'm not kidding. The crowd outside kept pushing. Old man, you don't know shame. Get out of here now. Stop hiding. Go out and pay our debts. Chief student. Right now, the leader of the Hoa-san sect slowly stepped out from the inside. I'm curious to come and have a look. The head of the Hoa-san faction calmly asked, you're so late. Is there anything wrong? I look forward to seeing him in a very calm manner. Looks like the head of the sect. Your gestures and words. It is the spirit of the wise. Just like that? It's like pretending. The angry people shouted. You owe him money, and he can be so calm. There was a man in a red shirt coming out. He asked with a smile, you've been fine lately, Chief. The chief of the mountain answered him. Not expect you came all the way here to see me. The owner continued to say, ha ha ha. I really have to come here for this. I don't feel good either. I never wanted to go up the mountain. Mind you. But people these days ask me too much about the chief. You know what to do. I hope you understand, Cho. And master, you have to understand. The debt has been paid for a long time. We've also missed it many times. Knowing the difficult circumstances of the Hoa-san sect, should have been under the contract. You have to pay a fine, violation of the obligation to repay the debt. However, we are also indebted to Hoa-san. Not a few times. So we don't want to make it easy for you. A week without paying off the debt. We will be forced to attack your temple. Right now, the middle of the ass is in the back. I can't help but scream. What? The others heard that. Immediately turn around and look at you. The buttocks quickly covered their mouth. They laughed, ha ha ha. It seems like the kids have to see it. They shouldn't have seen it. The scene moves to another place, looking forward to asking questions. So the Lake District merchants. The boy replied yes. Look at the butt, wrinkled lips, thoughtful. Mouth is constantly sighing. The boy saw you like that, and he was bewildered. He looks really dangerous. It is best to stay away to save your life. The yogin standing next to me was wondering. Home is not the name of the village at the foot of Hua Sao mountain. The boy answered correctly. When I was a kid, I talked about this. The yogin asked the Hoa Sun delegation again. They borrow money from these people. The boy scratched. I don't know if I started talking about it. I know a little bit about the Bao. He's a very rich man. It's the biggest house in the county. He seems to be involved in a lot of business. That's big business. When I heard this, the middle butt said the Hattie Hua. He's the owner of Hattie Hua, isn't he? The two of you are surprised to see you like that. I panicked and said, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Calm down, ghost. The buttocks gritted their teeth. Calm down. Why are we calm down? The Hattie Hua house was once the property of the Hua Sect. Watch your ass, agitated, run too. Grab the Kier kid's collar up. Angry, shout out loud. Are you lying, fat man? Is that real? Loaned me a few pennies. That's the great CA. We are in debt to our temple. The boy Kier was threatened. Show, cried Shiver, said. What are you doing? Calm down and let go. You have trouble understanding your thoughts. There's something missing here. That's the Hattie world. Property owned by Hua Sun Sect. But to lend money to the Hua Sun political party, it's ridiculous. All of this nonsense is happening. It shows that things are starting to go the wrong way. The middle ass said. Brother Yogin, startled, shot himself, stuttering, replied. You are wrong, brother. Middle ass said. Did you get what I asked you to prepare? Yogin didn't understand what was going on. His ass glared at him. That thing. The frightened Yogin replied, yes, that's right. I'll bring it right here. After that, Ju Gun ran away. After a while, he finally came back. Yogin put clothes on hands for middle buttocks. It's hard to understand what you're going to do. The buttocks quickly put on those clothes and said, there is a saying in Buddhism. To find Buddha, to practice Buddha, to meet Buddha, to kill Buddha. It means that if you want to be religious, you have to break the law. And we'll change the world. I saw the middle of my ass wearing clothes. Face that nose up. The two of them couldn't help but scream in panic. Where are you going to dress like a robber? You're going to wear black to escape the cult. Without being discovered by AI. Is that right? Your ass doesn't pay attention to your words. They jump directly. Yogin hurriedly shouted. Get your ass back here, Kier. Middle ass standing on the roof. Observe the surrounding situation. At the house not far away, there was a loud laughter. Ha 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 ha. Inside, the people who were laughing happily. The boss seems quite shocked. Everyone saw his face at the time. The people around me followed. Of course, I'm shocked. Sooner or later, that place will be blown away. The other person continued. I know the gold-plated stuff I took with me. How much is it worth? That's about 100,000 gold. He is with you, so he must be respected. Right, sir? The rich man laughed. Even though money matters to us. But I still feel bad. Because we have to force them to the end. Even though it's been for generations. Hoa's son and he also maintained a good relationship. The man next to me said, you can't do anything else either. I don't know how many times I've been in debt. Let's drink up for your generosity. He laughed. Ha ha ha, I hope so. In his heart is aesthetic. What a bunch of idiots. It's hard to believe these simple minds. You can live up to now. Do not underestimate the power of the mountain. Their greatest power. It's not about fighting ability. What you need to pay attention to is their history. Not to mention the whole country, only in Sanji province. It's also hard to find. AI has nothing to do with the Hua Sect. However, they've been very weak lately. It's comparable to the softness of this duck. It's easily torn apart with a pair of chopsticks. I have a question right now, sir. What are you going to do after taking over their temple? If you sell it, no one will buy it. Why not take something more valuable? The rich man told him. The value of that temple, it's beyond your imagination. Just look at the outside. It's like an old temple. But I guarantee it's worth a lot. The Kier people ask us again. We don't understand. You are Sao. He bit furiously into the chopsticks of the dirt head. He put his chopsticks down on the table and said, I don't know how to be blunt. But we can take advantage of the enemy of the Hoa Sun. To exploit, you think. How many schools are out there, waiting for this opportunity? Even willing to spend a huge amount of money. To buy the temple back. Just to erase the existence of the Hua Sect. You don't have to worry. I guarantee everyone's money. It will be worth it. People just heard the money. Then the eyes lit up. Agitated say, you're a brilliant man. Let us drink for our Lord. They happily raised their glasses to drink. Then the Kier man wagged his tricycle body. Back home, well, that's great. Just wait for the Hoa Sun debt squeeze to succeed. I will have enough money to play for a lifetime. You are very clear about money. The moon is so bright today is a good spot. Where is the moon? I'm so drunk. It's so late at night to walk around. At this moment, he suddenly saw something. There's a shadow in black. Blur appeared in front of his eyes. The man standing there was puzzled. What is it? His ass stood in front of him. You mean seriously, Kier, stay still. The man saw the shape of the middle buttocks. He was also threatened to freeze. He's confused about aesthetics. He's a robber. What does stealing look so funny? They look like children in disguise. To steal something, and you're going to dress like a lead lady. Ha. If you look like that, you want to steal it. I'm not careful, I might even get hit. Ha. That's funny. He asked me if I wanted money or something. The middle butt answered, I'm not interested in your money. Answer my question and you won't get hurt. The disdainful man said, Why are you threatening me? I don't want to answer you either. Threatening you is a mistake, son. As soon as he finished, he shouted, Come out. I heard the order. There was one. People dressed in black. I don't know where it suddenly came from. He ordered them to deal with it for me. The buttocks stood there glancing at him. Silent review. Looks like they're high-ranking guards. The subordinate asked, Do we need to kill him? The man said, I want to hear him talk. Catch him alive and make sure he can talk. When he finished, he quickly turned around. I don't like violent scenes. So. He heard the noise behind him, smiling contentedly. It seems to be okay. The skin UI sounds like it hurts. Suddenly in the back, there was a loud cry. Made him startle and shoot himself in amazement. The man hurriedly looked back. I said capture alive, not beat to death. That's what the cold S is. The scene behind him made him immediately stand up. I can't believe my eyes. Chung Myung has dealt with all those subordinates. It's only in one note. He threw his servant to the ground and said, Everyone should also learn to listen. But no one knows how to listen, right? You wave your hand and you signal him, Kiki, come here. I say it again. Answer all my questions, and you won't get hurt. Is that understood? The Kier man cowered in fear. Answer meekly, I understand. The next second, the middle buttocks lifted him up and understood it was good. You answered me meekly before. It's not a SAO. But you're going to beat me up. Now it's our turn to retaliate. Don't worry, I guarantee you'll still be able to speak. When he finished, he raised his fist. Be prepared to teach him a lesson. He was beaten in the distance. Even if I said in my ass, if you obey, you won't get hurt. He had a hard time talking because he was caught on both sides of the cheek. Stop fighting. Middle buttocks proved dangerous, said. Pronunciation for clarity, or never pronounce it again. The old man bowed to me. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll make it clear. You said that Hoa San is owed more than 100,000 Vietnamese dongs to eat. You think for a moment. Listen out loud. Even if I sell everything you have, including briefs, it's not worth 10,000. Don't say 100,000. That's it. There you say you have lent 100,000 yang to Hoa San. Do I look like idiots? He said, wait, let me explain. That's interest too. Hoa San borrowed money at too high an interest rate. Can't pay the debt, so the interest just keeps piling up. Even now, the interest rate is higher than the principal. He. We will become rich. Not finished yet. He got his ass. Give a blow to a nosebleed. Proud of that, asshole. You are the owner of the shop, right? Since when did you buy Hume? The old man tried to raise his face. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean. My family's owned that cloth shop for generations. You sound even more confused. It's impossible. It used to be one of those places of business. It's owned by the Hua Sect. Actually Saint Hua Sun. They own all the largest businesses of Haum County. Thanks to the Hua Sect, that Haum district from a small village, it has grown into a rich county. Our sect. Let the outside representatives stand out. Reason for sure. Those bastards took the opportunity to weaken the Hua Sun faction, to take over the business. Middle buttocks self-speculation. He was angry at the old man. Suddenly, there was a voice calling out to the bastard. Stop your fucking cowardly behavior now. Based on our skills. Sure, you're not just a normal thug. Say your name. I am a soldier escorting soldiers. You must have heard my name. I don't know why he woke up so fast. You let go of the old man who wants money. Sorry, people don't know anything about the field. I want to know what my name is. The soldier is louder. I always remember those who died under this sword. You are no exception. Middle buttocks cloud face. I just got kicked in the ass, and I'm so loud. Arrogant bastard. He drew his sword. Prepare the sky to attack. Chinese warrior, aesthetic cotton ball, nah. In terms of physical health, he is stronger than me. Whether it's health or speed, I can't find this guy either. That doesn't mean we're weaker than him. In a battle, the power and speed alone cannot be said. Anything. He kicked the sword on the ground and held it firmly in his hand. Directly blocked the enemy's attack. The soldier Trung Bin suddenly stared at him. I don't believe someone with a small body. They have such a strong defense. I tell myself experience is also important. And holy sword peach flower, I have a lot of experience here. Without power, we borrow the power of the enemy. He knocked down the big man in front of him. The sword is reversed. Put a circle around where you stand. This is really the transmission of the holy sword peach flower, that the stiff-mouthed opponent has no resistance. Practice 15 more and come back. The final blow is the end. You throw the sword. Do your own energy. Oh right. I forgot the pig. If you reveal the swordsmanship. Did he find out about me? It's dead. If he realizes that the last move is dangerous. He babbled that swordsmanship was perfect. Martial arts. And especially the powerful airflow. Chinese cotton is sweating something. People like him can feel the air. This is bad. It's impossible. The old man rushed forward with a firm voice. You're a man of the North Sword, aren't you? I'm sure the middle buttocks are too high for this fat pig. You are indifferent. The next direction has not been determined. Stand still as a thought. That's right. He's proud of himself. I know right away. You can ask me anything. I'll answer everything I know. About an hour later. Maybe the mountain is about to return. Yogun and Chung Cotton are waiting for the door of the Grand CA. Why isn't he back yet? Calm down. But brother, I also know he's not an idiot. He will come back sooner or later. As long as nothing happens. There was a roaring sound of footsteps outside. A pair of torch legs walked in. It's in his ass. He's safe. What happened while I was away, guys? Du Gold rejoiced at Master. They went back inside the room. You have to ask the question. Is there anything outside? In exchange for the uniform, he replied. It's not much. To be treated so warmly. There is also a promotion. Middle Buttock's smile seems to have achieved the goal. You remember the first man. Still think Dell tortured. He is a man of the Northern Sword. Maybe so. Better than revealing your true self. But it makes me feel so guilty. The flower is gone. It's no longer a symbol of our faction. Even that fat guy. I've lived my whole life in this district. You also have to know what the swordsmanship looks like. And he doesn't know. Yeowon asked his brother what he was doing out there. That ass is also weird. He turned his face and said, children like you don't understand. Do-won is angry, but you are also a child. SAO is also going to call everyone to prepare for practice. Come on. You always come back to practice. The Chinese spoke in a very serious voice. Listen carefully. Whether it's snowing or stormy, we're also not allowed to give up training. And even if this school collapses, we're not taking a day off. When it's too late, I'll go and call everyone I've prepared. I won't be participating today. I've got work to do. Middle Butt interrupts play mist. Just boiling Gold's beard. Chan Cotton said, you can't practice without me. Maybe we can try. But people won't be serious if you're not there. The discipline knows. The middle buttocks have to put the big story aside. Follow them to practice. Then let's go. He was breathless and fell back on the bed for a moment. What do we do now? This is the situation. The representative managers, they've now taken over the businesses. Books proving the ownership of the Hua Sect. With those facilities, maybe it was burned by the demons. If the books are still there, none of this happened. Should we assassinate all the traitors? Of course not. Do that, there will be a risk of bad reputation. We need an excuse. An excuse to send Hoa-san not to pay their debts. And evidence, proof of ownership of Hua Sect, with business facilities. It's a matter of knowing where to find the evidence and why. Middle buttocks writhing don't know how to calculate. But our accounting books. I've seen the dentist write a few times. Every time we show up, he hid some books. Wait a minute. My ass suddenly remembers. Are there only a few books? Surely he's hiding the rest somewhere. Hua Sect holds in the hands of many businesses, so it's certainly not possible to have just a few books of accounting. The secret tunnel only the cardinal is allowed to enter. They're probably stored in there. Brother smart. I'd have thought about hiding the books there. I've heard some rumors about that bunker, but I haven't seen it with my own eyes. Very likely, the entrance to the tunnel is in the cardinal's residence. Think about it. Brainstorm. Only the cardinal's house is unchanged. Somewhere on Mount Hua near the cardinal's house. The hill behind that house. Maybe there's an underground bunker. If they built it under that hill. Like that, no one will know the exact location of the tunnel. Looks like we're going on a treasure hunt. There's never been a precedent.